I'd like to welcome everyone to the 8th meeting of the National Black Feminist Book Group of our reading of We Are the Ones We Have Been Waiting For, Inner Light in a Time of Darkness, Meditations by Alice Walker. And I'm Georgette Moses. I'm your moderator for this evening from Columbia, South Carolina. I'd like to go around and have each of our core members introduce themselves. Let's start with Randie.
Hi everyone, my name is Randie. I am watching from Atlanta and I'm excited for tonight.
My name is Walker. I'm joining you all from Connecticut.
My name is Michelle Odom. I am here in the Bronx, New York tonight.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
And tonight it's our last two chapters, chapter 13 and 14, Orchids and To Be Led by Happiness. Chapter 13, Orchids. Okay.
Walker uses power to subtly compare it to human beings who have experienced tremendous cruelty like Japanese women, Iraqi children, Native American children, and Black people who sometimes feel the need to self-eradicate. She suggests indirectly that healing these soul wounds is indeed possible with application of a little tender, loving care, the kind of care we associate with Blackness. To strengthen our capacity to deliver this care, we must care for our own souls. To be Black means to have body and soul together, she asserts, and the practice of yoga is a strategy for accomplishing.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to D, Blackness and Soul Wounds.
All right, Randie.
You've been volunteered.
Okay.
I miss you.
I miss you too, Venita. Thank you, Kia. Okay. In 2003, Amnesty International published an article detailing the sadistic treatment, sexual abuse, and murder Native American children suffered in the white-run boarding schools in the U.S. In 2001, the Truth Commission released a similar report on atrocities in Canada. These church-sanctioned campaigns to solve the Indian problem involve cruel lessons in discipline, where speaking a word of the children's native language will result in a lye and chlorine mouthwashing. Church officials murdered children by beatings, poisonings, electric shock, starvation, prolonged exposure to sub-zero cold while naked, and medical experimentation, including the removal of organs and radiation exposure. They raped both girls and boys and performed abortions on and sterilized Native girls, all committed by statists pretending to be interested in God. The souls of Native men, women, and children are wounded. Their language, culture, and customs have been ripped from them in the worst way. We understand the unmarked graves filled with murdered innocents. We understand the survivor's guilt that drives the victim to substance abuse and violence against others and self. We are linked to our Native American ancestors through suffering. Question 7. Does it surprise you that the church and the federal government are complicit in these crimes against Native American children? Question 8. Why do you think they were able to hide the truth for so long?
Can I answer that one?
Go ahead, Venita.
This hurt me so bad. And this is not a new revelation. And I'll start off with just the day before yesterday, I was watching the news, and they had the Catholic Pope and all the cardinals, and now they're trying to reach out to the gay community, and they actually made a statement that saying that there are benefits to gay marriage or gay relationships, and that'd be great if they meant it from their heart. I read it as there's benefit to gay people so that the little cardinals can have a good time. Okay? you know, and I'm not Catholic. And for those that are Catholic, I don't mean to offend you, but to let the truth set you free. It's sickening. It's disgusting. It makes me ill. They've been doing this stuff since the beginning of time. Now all of a sudden society acts like this is a new revelation. All the priests going around being booty bandits. They've been doing this stuff forever, abusing and molesting and doing disgraceful, low-down, nasty things. Girl, I'm so tired, I don't know what to do. And that was a rant, for real, because I'm done. And we all should feel that way. We're not connected indirectly. My great-grandmother's all Cherokee Indian from the hills of North Carolina. So it's not indirectly, it's directly. And most of us black folk, if we sit back, we all got Indian relatives. So it's not indirect.
Venita, do you remember telling me that story about fetuses found in the Catholic churches in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Can you tell that story?
Yes, I never forget as long as I live. My godparents, God bless them, they're like my parents. They were mature people, fabulous in every way. They live in Society Hill in Kansas City, where all the aristocratic elite people live, and the hippies and everybody else. I never forget being a little girl. There was a big commotion going on. That was before journalism was as advanced or upfront as it is today. However, they were there. They were tearing down this old convent on Spruce Street. I think it was Spruce Street, whether it's 13th or 14th, right in Kansas City. I don't remember exactly the address, but a few blocks over. And when they tore down that old convent, they found hundreds of baby bodies that the nuns had. By whom, I don't know. Because back then, you could put like a train underneath that and not notice it's there. But they tore down that convent and they found all the dead remains of all these babies that these nuns had over many, many, many years. And that's when I was a little girl. So, I'm not surprised at anything. This stuff's been going on forever and a day. And I'm not sure whether it was, to this day, I'm not sure whether it was, babies that were conceived by the priest in the church or the nuns who just out there having a party on the weekend. But at any rate, this has been going on forever. They were having babies. They tested a lot of the remains found. Those babies were full term. They weren't, babies. They are assuming that what they would do is have the baby, cut the cord, and let them bleed to death and or smother them. And this was in the late 60s, I would say. I must have been probably about maybe 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old. And me and my godmother took a walk down and watched them tear down this convent, and they found hundreds of bodies.
Thank you.
So, I just, and I know I sound passionate, and I know I'm ranting, but, I just cried, because you imagine somebody, a child like that. I got sons. I got friends that have sons and daughters, and I can imagine somebody doing that to my babies. They ain't somebody else's babies. They are babies. And it just hurts me so bad. I think there's nothing more in the world that hurts me than someone that will hurt a child, an elderly person, defenseless people. Come to me. I can defend myself. At least I can attempt to. But to hurt a child or an elderly person or somebody that can't defend themselves, it's beyond monstrous. I don't know what to do with that. And it's been going on for so long. There's so many broken people because of rape, incest, molestation, abuse, torture. I mean, really? Now everybody's sitting around acting like it's a new revelation. All this is new. This is not new. And when does it stop? When there's no more people? It's heartbreaking. It's just so heartbreaking. I can't imagine. I really can't. And I read this, I was just so hard, so done. Just done. Done.
I know, and this is the easy book, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
I already got my lupus attacking me, child. Whew. I was done.
Yeah, that was a really hard,
That was
hard,
hard.
hard section to read. Um, I don't know. I mean, I,
Done.
I, I don't get it. I mean, human. Um, I was reading a story today about they found the remains of a 14-year-old white girl from the 1600s. Um, that was proof that the people had engaged in cannibalism during during a famine that occurred in the Plymouth Rock area during that period. And they were saying, you know, it had been fabled for years that this cannibalism had gone on. But this girl's whatever parts were, I know they found her skull because they were able to reconstruct what she looked like from that. Um, you know, people are just. There was a story in that about a man that had eaten his pregnant wife. Um,
What?
yeah, yeah.
God.
You know, human beings are just really um, can go to levels of cruelty that we can't really imagine or understand. But in the case of the Native Americans, um, you know, this one school killed like 50,000 children that they know of. Um, you know, and the thing is, you know, Alice Walker was sharing that story about Native Americans, knowing full well that we have comparable stories um, in the Black community. Some of which we're going to get in, so I'm going to need you to pull yourself together, Venita, because some of them we're going to get into in medical apartheid, which I have already started reading.
Well, you
And
I can't do it right now.
you,
I like to talk over girls.
you you gonna have to you gonna have to toughen up, 'cause that is gonna be some harsh
Oh Lord.
reading.
Wow.
Mm.
So
I have to
I
tell
don't.
you because this is very important, and I just because we are connected. You know, they're not just because they're humans. You talk about my family. They don't
Yeah,
think we black. You know, any of us have feelings. Blacks are Indians. Indians are blacks.
yeah,
None of us have feelings. You know, none of us are human. You know, we don't have feelings, and I'm just so over this. I'm over it. And
yeah.
then we treat each other the way we treat each other. On top of that, now it's bad enough I gotta watch the people out there, but I gotta watch you too. Really? I got all these folks hating on me out here, treating me like I'm subhuman, and I gotta watch the inside too. I gotta watch you. That's just too much watching at one time. Too much. And that's why we're all breaking down, because there's too much going on. Too much. Anyways, okay.
Well, yeah, that was definitely some evilness going on, and sadly, it's not over. It
Mm-mm,
still continues. It resonates through
mm-mm,
their communities, our communities.
mm.
And what's sad is when you hear, the talking heads come on TV, they want to say, "Oh, if they would just stop drinking." Why are they drinking? Okay, there's a reason why.
They
The
don't care.
everything. What you say, Venita? I didn't hear you, man.
I said they know exactly why everything is happening. They don't
Yeah.
care.
Yes.
The
True.
objective is to break it down to nothing. Down to nothing right now. To make us complacent. Have it so we don't know what day it is. We're drinking and taking dope and doing this and doing that and hurting each other. That's the objective. They know exactly what's going on. And that's why every time you see that, you get all crazy when you hear that. And I'm tired of these folks running around here hiding underneath the pretense of religion, too. Okay?
That's true.
I'm tired of that. That's why I don't do them. The more they throw that Bible, the more you got to watch your back. I get tired of it. Running around here, praise Jesus, //.
That's sad but true.
You know, and I find that in my lifetime, and I believe only for me, I'm not offending anyone, that the more they throw that Bible, the scarier they are to me. The more dirt they got in their closet, the more scary, the more evil they are. Because people that are good don't have to go around doing that. They do it every day. It's a natural thing. And that's why you got the booty man up there in the Vatican doing the stuff that they do. And now all of a sudden there are benefits to gay relationships. For whom? The Cardinals? And it's not like it's at their heart. Not like it's saying that, you know, because they love everyone. And that's how I'm looking like, oh, now here we go with the real freaky stuff now. Now we find some benefits. Like this is the Pope. Really? When you came to take care of your Cardinals up there, everybody up there being crazy? All right, we gotta go. I'm getting attacked.
There was a story earlier this week about a black preacher down south someplace who recently admitted that he has HIV/AIDS, and he recently admitted that he's had sex with some high number of women in his congregation. And fortunately, the congregation did put him out, the married preacher. And I believe that the city or state is looking at prosecuting him. But in terms of Georgette's question about, you know, why these kinds of things are allowed to go on for so long, I guess my guess would be people are scared to actually challenge or to speak up when they see wrongdoing going on. Because, you know, whether it's the Catholic Church or the Black Church, we see wrong all the time. But people don't speak up. You know, they're afraid of losing whatever benefits they get from being a part of the community, or, you know, whatever it is they're afraid of losing. And so to stop this kind of activity, there has to be a certain willingness to take risk.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess I'm not one of those people, because I'll take the risk. Okay? I tell it, everything. Always.
Yeah.
I'm a risk taker. I don't care. I have nothing to lose. But I will not see someone commit an atrocity or wrong or hurt someone and not say anything. I'll deal with the rest of it later.
Yeah, but that's what it takes.
I just wanted to add one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when the question was asked if you were surprised, when you look at a lot of the government charters and the documents for this country, they said that non-white people were not considered people. So it was not so much a matter in my mind of anything being hidden. It was okay if this is the way you're treating your livestock. You know, you know, somebody has showed me where you were 2/10 of a person if this happened, and if you had this in your background 6 generations away, there's like this whole section. I wish I could find where it was. There's this whole section of how much of a person are you in these United States.
That's right.
And I would not have been considered a person given that document, but especially since I have, predominantly African American up through the generations and Indian on my mother's side, but I would not have been considered a person. So if somebody is raping, shooting, killing, cutting out my organs, it's not a crime because I'm not human. So you don't have to hide this. You could, kill these kids on Main Street. This was just not. And then the other part that I love that both of you guys was talking about, the next insult is that you take the Bible and you twist it around so that everything that you do is something that's in the Bible that Jesus said or somebody said that gives you license to hurt people and treat people so badly. So I agree. Sometimes when I see these Bible thumpers, I want to run.
Oh, I do run, honey. I don't do the Jesus people. Oh, no. No, and I believe in a higher being like everyone else because we're not that bright. So apparently, whether it's Jesus or Buddha or Allah or anybody, it has to be a higher being because we ain't dealing with a full deck. But those Jesus people, don't come through here. Because I can't deal with all that. Show your Jesusness and learn how to act like a human being and treat people like a human being. It just scares me. That black ministry thing going on, that stuff been going on forever. Once again, it also comes back to what's on women's minds. You can't be taking it didn't say anything about rape. As far as I understood, it's voluntary. Since when do women get that desperate? Since when do you get that desperate? That's the question for the women. Okay? Did you get that desperate that you got the congregation, numerous women, and the congregation always knows what's going on, going to bed with a minister, all of y'all. So what's wrong with these women? There's something going on with women, period. I don't get it. Because we are doing some crazy ass stuff, excuse the expression, and then we turn around talking about we victimized. No, you victimize yourself. In them churches, I grew up in a Baptist, in a Methodist church. Greater Mount Olive, AME, on Bainbridge Street in Philadelphia. They all know what's going on. So why don't we try to figure out what's on our mind?
Can I say one thing? It goes back to what you were saying earlier in terms of the skin bleaching. That if your soul is so hurt and you think that killing yourself early to be light-skinned is going to make you feel good about yourself, make you accepted somewhere, that it's like the bluest eye. It's just, I need something outside of me to make me feel good because I feel so incredibly bad. So if this minister with AIDS is now saying, I'll sleep with all of y'all, then it's this secret thing that says, oh, the ministers pick me, So I just think all of it is this low self-esteem and this low self-worth that's deadly. It's just so deadly. And so to hear that these women would sleep with somebody in the church, the pastor, and it's lots of them, they all knew.
Of course they did. But why don't you go to the gym?
Go to the gym.
Join the book group. Reading. Go do some work out there and go down to the soup kitchen. And there's a lot of things you can be doing to build your self-esteem. Take that weave off. Okay, stop bleaching your skin. Do something constructive. A lot of stuff you can do to build your self-esteem. Okay, yes, I understand all that. I'm very aware of low self-esteem and what it can drive people to do. Someone loves you, they tell you you're wonderful in every way, here you go. I don't have to be one of those people. However, I do understand it. But it's, it has to stop. I mean, really.
Really?
Really. And this has been going with the minister since I was a child. Because I used to hear little whispers. I was that nosy child. I was always grown and I was supposed to be. I was always listening, while I was around. And this stuff been going since the beginning of time. So you would think after a while self-esteem would be building instead of being diminished. But once again, we got Beyonce to help out with that. Sorry.
Oh.
You got Beyonce. I got Nicki Minaj. I can't stand Nicki Minaj.
That girl's really lost her mind. But this I saw Vivica, what's her name? Vivica
Fox.
Fox.
yeah. Now, she was on Oprah's Master. No, actually, wasn't on Master. She was on Oprah's show, her own show. Oprah and I, they ain't my thing. But the own show, when she has different guests on now, and of course the Masters sometimes is very interesting. Well, Vivica was on there, and she just turned 50 years old. And she, of course, she said she was against, body augmentation and this and that. But since then, of course, she changed her mind. She looked like hell. Okay. She had her cheeks done, face all puffed up. They got all the same little crazy look to them. Breasts done. Basically, she really what she all had to do. She needed to go to the gym and just skip the rest of it. She had the whole thing all going on. It was crazy, and that's what really scares me now. I know the skin bleaching is going on. Also, what's his name? The one.
Sammy Sosa.
No, the one that played in Men in Black.
Will Smith?
Jada Pinkett?
Jada Pinkett?
Oh, I can't stand that child. She got
what is she doing?
wherever she went to, and they got plenty of money. If you're going to do augmentation on your body, get somebody that's good to do it. She got cheek implants now that are far too big for her face and look like she escaped from I don't know where. And before that was reserved for the Caucasian woman. But now black women are really getting into the breast, the facelift, the this and the that. What is happening? I mean, before, really? I mean, it really is getting very prominent among black women to have body augmentations. And, we used to do that.
That's true. We're the ones with the booty.
Right. I mean, we got the booty. I mean, we always age gracefully. We got beautiful skin, beautiful hair. I just love being black anyway, so you're talking to the wrong girl. I think this is great. Even with a prednisone face, pumpkin head now. We didn't do that. We were very natural, just pretty. The natural makeup, if we wore any at all.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've taken to emulating the Caucasian women. A lot.
Sad but true.
I
think.
We